There is a word we use all the time and understand hardly at all: charisma. We say a person has it, as if it were a kind of magic. But what really is that power some people hold? The power to attract, to persuade, to sweep crowds along behind them. This book takes on the question in the boldest possible way, by setting three men side by side. Three men who each possessed an immense charisma and who used it in completely opposite directions. Rasputin, Gandhi, and Hitler. The same fire, lit into three very different blazes. Rasputin was a wandering Russian monk who, with a magnetic stare and an unsettling presence, won over the imperial family and ended up shaping the fate of an empire. He seemed able to calm the crises of the sickly young heir, and there was something in his eyes that people described as hypnotic. His charisma was murky, manipulative, bent entirely toward his own personal power. Gandhi was the opposite, a small, gentle man dressed in a simple length of cloth, who through moral force alone and an unshakable calm brought the largest empire in the world to its knees without ever raising a weapon. His charisma did not come from seduction. It came from an absolute consistency between what he said and what he was. People followed him because in him they saw a truth made flesh. It was a charisma placed in the service of others, not of himself. And then Hitler, the most terrible example of all. A man capable of literally hypnotizing the masses with his voice, his rehearsed gestures, his rallies staged like rituals, the lights, the music, the endless repetition. He turned the power of charisma into a machine for collective capture, and he aimed it at the most absolute evil imaginable. Studying how he did it is not morbid. It is necessary because understanding the mechanism is the only way to defend yourself against it. So what does the comparison tell us? Something uncomfortable and important. Charisma in itself is neutral. It is a technique, a human force like the energy of a river. It can water the fields or wipe out a whole country. The difference does not lie in the power, but in who wields it and for what end. And the ingredients, surprisingly, are the very same ones we met in silence and in hypnosis. The gaze that holds you, the rhythmic voice, the total presence, the ability to draw others into a state where the critical mind lowers its guard and we become willing to believe. This is exactly why the book gathers the mystic and the manipulator under the same roof, because they both flip the same human switch. The mystic flips it to set people free. The manipulator flips it to imprison them. Knowing how this mechanism works is the best defense there is. Someone who understands how capture happens is far harder to capture. And here we reach the part that matters most for your everyday life. Learning to recognize when someone is trying to lower your defenses, to switch off your critical thinking, to bind you to them through emotion instead of reason. It holds true for a leader and for a guru, but also for an advertisement or for a toxic person in your own life. The signs are always similar. Someone who pushes you to stop thinking and just feel. Someone who makes you afraid of being left outside the group. Someone who offers easy answers to questions that are difficult by nature. Once you have a name for these moves, they lose much of their grip on you. Look again at the three faces in the light of all this. Rasputin draws you in to use you. Gandhi draws you in to free you. Hitler draws you in to dissolve you into a crowd that no longer thinks for itself. Three gazes, three destinies, and at the heart of each the very same human ability, turned toward salvation, toward liberation, or toward ruin. None of them invented anything new. Each one simply pressed, with extraordinary skill, on a button that lives inside all of us. That is the part that should give us pause. The power they used is not foreign to us. It is something we ourselves can feel the pull of, both as the ones who follow and, in smaller ways, as the ones who lead. This is why none of it is just history, something safely sealed in the past. The mechanism is still here, alive and at work in the screens we stare at, in the voices that promise to save us, in the simple slogans that ask us to stop wondering. The names and the costumes change. The button stays the same, and the only real protection is to know it is there, to feel the moment when someone is reaching for it, and to keep, even then, a small clear space of thought that belongs to no one but you. In the next chapter, we step straight into this shadow. We will look at the precise anatomy of capture, at how cults and manipulation actually work from the inside, and at how a person finds the way back out.